My name is Cath Wright and I'm a qualified nature and forest therapy guide with the ANFT, and I'm really pleased to be here at Stirling University campus today to do a bit of forest bathing with you. Forest bathing was developed in the 1980s and it started in Japan when they realised that they were going to a much more of a tech-based culture. They discovered that trees give off these amazing essential oils that contain something called phytoncides, and these phytoncides are the tree's natural defence. When we as humans spend time in nature, we also take in phytoncides. So even just spending 10 to 15 minutes once a week in nature is going to help you boost your own immune system. So green in particular is one of those colours that as humans we have to put the least amount of effort in to see it. So it's a relaxing colour, it's very stress-free for us. And you add in blue, you've got the colours of water, you've got the colours of trees. So spending time in nature all year round is going to have a really positive effect on our mental health as well as our physical health as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to follow a forest bathing session, but it's going to be broken into lots of little segments that we call invitations, and these are purely invitations. It's a suggestion or an invitation to do something in nature. So this first invitation that we're going to do is called Pleasures of Presence, or POP, and this is a traditional way to start a forest bathing session, to ground ourselves, start to get in touch with our senses and to forget the car journey here or what happened an hour ago or the day before, and just to start to relax and just to settle into your surroundings. So shifting our attention to our skin, I wonder what sensations we can feel. Notice the difference between the skin that's exposed to the air and the skin that's underneath your clothes. Maybe hold your hands out in front of you and just hold the air in your hands and let the air hold you and support you. Lightly bring your hands together and see what it feels like for your skin to touch itself. Perhaps using your hands to explore the textures with you today, your own pockets, your jackets. And if you feel comfortable, bend down and touch the earth beneath you, perhaps picking some of the earth up and holding it in your hands, and see what that feels like to hold the earth. So this next invitation, we're going to look at textures around us. And a great example of textures is fractal patterns in nature. And fractal patterns are aesthetically pleasing. They calm our minds and they relax us and reduce our stress levels. So if you want to look for fractal patterns, you might look at pine cones where you've got that repetitive pattern of shield upon shield going around the pine in a circle. Maybe a fern as it unfurls and you get that beautiful curl. But we've also got monkey puzzle trees like the one behind us, where you've got these repetitive patterns going up the branches, and all of these patterns and texture in nature relax us. So one of the other things that we can look at when we're forest bathing is colours and the colours that are around us. We already know that the colours blue and green have amazing relaxing effects on our mental well-being and our stress levels. And one of these reasons is because green is one of those colours where we barely have to do anything to see it. Our brains don't have to do anything, it's just green. And blue's a very similar colour, and these are both colours that we obviously find when we're out in nature. So this next invitation, whilst we're in the Garden of Time, you might want to spend some time looking at the colours that are in here. So I'd encourage you to just walk slowly around the garden and just take time to notice the colours, just for sort of 10 minutes or so, and just focus on the colours around you. So now at the far end of the garden, we're at the Labyrinth. Labyrinths first came into being in the Mediterranean, moving into Scandinavia about 3,000 or more years ago. And they've always been thought to hold a special power to centre and ground people. And as you walk into the Labyrinth, you are supposed to shed and let go of the things that you need to. And then as you reach the centre, you centre yourself. And then as you leave the Labyrinth, you take back the things that you want to and prepare yourself for going back out. So whilst we're here at the Labyrinth, I'd encourage you to have a walk around and follow the Labyrinth to the centre and let go of those things you need to, but also just spend some time either sitting on the benches around us, or you could lie on your back if it's a nice day and just do some cloud gazing. So I invite you to just look at the clouds and gaze away. So traditionally we end a forest bathing session by taking tea together, and this serves two purposes. The first one, it brings us out of the liminal state that we'll have got into whilst we're forest bathing. It prepares us to be able to get into our cars or walk away and do the next task that we need to do, and just brings us back to earth, back into the tamed world. Secondly, it's a chance for us to give back and give thanks to the land that we've been on and thank it for supporting us, so that when we pour the tea, we always pour a cup or a sip for the land and just say thank you as it supported us today.